On Chicago's South Side, baseball has always carried a different weight. Here, the game is raw, defiant, and deeply loyal. This is the story of the Chicago White Sox, one of baseball's original franchises, shaped by triumph, scandal, heartbreak, and redemption. Birth of a franchise, 1901 to 1905. The American League arrived in Chicago in 1901, and with it came the White Sox. Led by owner Charles Comiskey, the team quickly established itself as a force in the new league. In an era defined by speed, defense, and pitching, the White Sox thrived. They won the American League pennant in 1901 and again in 1906, laying the foundation for a team that would forever embrace grit over glamour. The South Side had its club, and it was here to stay. 2. The Hitless Wonders and Early Glory. 1906 to 1916. In 1906, the White Sox earned a nickname that would echo through baseball history: the Hitless Wonders. Lacking offensive firepower, but rich in pitching and defense, they stunned the heavily favored Chicago Cubs in the World Series. It was the franchise's first championship, and one built on defying expectations. Throughout the 1910s, the White Sox remained contenders, boasting stars like Eddie Collins, shoeless Joe Jackson, and Eddie Cicotte. By 1917, Chicago claimed its second World Series title, cementing its place among baseball's elite. But beneath the success, darker forces were gathering. 3. The Black Sox Scandal, 1917 to 1920. The 1919 World Series changed everything. 8 White Sox players conspired with gamblers to fix the championship, throwing games in exchange for money. When the truth emerged, baseball was shaken to its core. In 1921, all 8 players were permanently banned from the sport, including some of the game's greatest talents. The scandal devastated the franchise and scarred its reputation for decades. For the White Sox, glory was replaced by silence, and the long road back began. 4. The long, shadow and lean decades, 1921 to 1950s. The aftermath of the scandal cast a heavy shadow over the South Side. While other franchises rose and fell, the White Sox struggled to reclaim relevance. Owner Charles Comiskey's frugality further hampered the team, and success remained elusive. Still, baseball endured in Chicago. Fans stayed loyal, believing that someday redemption would come. By the 1950s, signs of revival finally appeared. The Go-Go Sox era, 1959 to 1967. In 1959, the White Sox re-emerged as contenders with a new identity. Nicknamed the Go-Go Sox, the team relied on speed, defense, and pitching, echoing the philosophy of earlier champions. Led by Luis Aparicio, Nellie Fox, and Early Wynn, Chicago won the American League pennant. Though they fell short in the World Series, the season reignited passion on the South Side. The curse of the past seemed to be loosening its grip. Chaos, characters, and comebacks, 1968 to 1980s. The late 1960s and 1970s were defined by volatility. In 1977, the South Side Hitmen captivated fans with power and swagger. Players like Richie Zisk and Oscar Gamble turned Comiskey Park into a launching pad. In 1983, under manager Tony La Russa, the White Sox embraced a new mantra: winning ugly. They captured the AL West and delivered one of the most memorable seasons in franchise history. But consistency remained elusive, and championships remained out of reach. 7. A team interrupted. 1990s. The 1990s brought promise and heartbreak. A talented roster featuring Frank Thomas, one of the greatest hitters of all time, positioned the White Sox as contenders. In 1994, Chicago held the best record in the American League. Then, baseball stopped. The players' strike canceled the postseason, erasing what many believed was a championship-caliber season. Once again, fate intervened on the South Side. 8. Redemption at last. The 2005 championship, 2000 to 2005. In 2005, everything changed. Built on pitching depth, timely offense, and unshakable confidence, the White Sox stormed through the postseason. They went 11-1, dominating opponents with historic efficiency. In the World Series, Chicago swept the Houston Astros, capturing its first championship in 88 years. Paul Konerko, Jermaine Guy, Mark Burley, and a relentless bullpen delivered redemption long overdue. The ghosts of 1919 were finally laid to rest. Ix, searching for sustained success. 2006 present. In the years since 2005, the White Sox have cycled through contention and rebuilding. New ballparks, new stars, and renewed ambitions have defined the modern era. From emerging talent to bold roster overhauls, the franchise continues its pursuit of lasting success. While championships remain rare, hope endures anchored by a fan base that understands perseverance better than most. Epilogue. The South Side endures. The Chicago White Sox are not defined by ease or elegance. They are defined by resilience. Through scandal and silence, triumph and turmoil, the South Side has never stopped believing. Because for the White Sox, baseball is not just a game. It is a fight. It is memory. It is identity. And the story is still being written.